Hello students of class 10, hope all are fine. Today we are going to continue our chapter, that is water resources. So today we'll see about tank irrigation. Tanks refer to a small bundle of earth or stones built across a stream to impound water, which is then led through a narrow channels to cultivated fields. So here you can see the picture of a tank here. Okay, so here tank you can see that it is surrounded by stone, isn't it, or small wall type it is constructed, and water is collected inside. Okay, then this water through a small narrow canal, they will send it to the cultivated land. Okay, so tank irrigation is in practice in peninsular India, including Maharashtra, Gujarat. So some of the special features of tanks in the Deccan are as follows. So tanks are more widely used in Deccan region. Okay, so we'll see why it is used there. So there the rivers of Deccan are not snow fed. Okay, whereas the rivers are mainly dependent on rain waters. So there are many streams, they become totally full in rainy season and dry in summer season. Okay, so in rainy season you can see rivers will be filled and flood will be occurred, and when the summer season comes it will be dried like anything. Then the hard rocks in the area do not suck up water, so wells cannot be made in this region, okay, Deccan region. But the tanks can be easily made by means of making dams in hollow spaces in which rain waters can be stored in large quantities, and after that this water can be distributed through channels to the irrigated lands in the dry season. And even the terrain of the Deccan Plateau is very uneven, and many natural depressions where tanks can be easily built there. Okay, so these are some of the special features for tank irrigation in Deccan region. So especially in South India you can see they are using tank irrigation. So you can name the states of South India here, that is Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu. Okay, so when it comes to north, Rajasthan, then West Bengal. Okay, these regions are also using tank irrigation. Next we'll see advantages of tank irrigation. So in uneven rocky plateau of peninsular India where rainfall is highly seasonal, tank irrigation is useful there, because in rainy season more downpour is there, isn't it? So the water can be collected in the tanks. In the large stretches of Indian plateau, due to hard rocky terrain, wells and canals are difficult to construct. So only tank irrigation is feasible here. Next you can see tank irrigation is highly significant in storing the abundant rainwater, and that would otherwise flow and go waste, isn't it? In rainy season, rainy water will be just flowing away and it's a waste there. So instead of going waste, it can be collected and kept in the tanks, and in the summer season the farmers can make use of that water. Next we'll see disadvantages of tank irrigation. So tanks, they get silted up soon, and regular desilting is required to make them suitable for irrigation. Okay, so the tanks, because the water is stagnant there, isn't it? So it gets silted very soon. So regularly it should be cleaned up. Okay, so when the monsoon fails, these tanks also get dried. There will be no water also. Most of the tanks are non-perennial and become dry during winter and summer season, because only in the rainy season the water is collected there, isn't it? So in summer and winter it becomes dry, so that the crops which can be grown in winter and summers, they will be affected. Due to large area coverage and its shallow depth, huge quantity of stored water either gets evaporates or sinks underground without being used for irrigation. You can see how vast the tank it is, isn't it? So it may get evaporated, as well as it can be sinked into the underground also. Tanks occupy large fertile area. Otherwise, this fertile area could be make use for cultivating the crops. Okay, so it is a wastage of land. Next, lifting of water from the tanks and bringing it to the fields is a strenuous and costly task here. Okay, from the tanks to the cultivated land, the water has to be um, brought. So it is very costly thing here. But even then, tanks are very effective means of collecting rainwater, and their use should be popularized for irrigation, aquaculture, drinking water, and water sports also. Next, we'll see drawbacks of conventional methods of irrigation. So, in the conventional system of irrigation, a large quantity of water is not properly utilized. Crops are usually subjected to cyclic changes of flooding and water stress situation. That is, in the heavy irrigation, you can see that one time and leaving the fields to dry up for 10 to 15 days. Okay, water flooding will be there in the starting, then afterwards you can see it will be dried without water. So the moisture availability to the crops therefore keeps on changing here, so it affects the crops. Then fields situated in low areas always gets excess water. Okay, that is water logging. So that also results in the poor yields. Then in the fields, about 10 to 15% of land is utilized for preparing channels. Channels means to bring the water to the field. Okay, so that channels also, it takes more place. So otherwise those place would have been made use for cultivation purpose. Extensive area of land in the arid and semi-arid regions of India are no longer used for cultivation due to accumulation of salt here. Okay, so excessive irrigation and poor water management are the main reason for water logging and gradual buildup of excessive salt. So progressive buildup of soil salinity has made the soil unsuitable for cultivation. So students, today we'll stop this module here. I hope tank irrigation is clear to you all. So revise once again, read the chapter. Thank you children. Have a nice day.